Hey guys, my name is Dylan with the Anime Summary. The story begins with our main protagonist Isagi playing a soccer tournament finals match to decide whether or not his team goes to nationals for the year. He dribbles past all of the defenders and is one-on-one with the goalie about to take the shot. Isagi's teammate yells at him to pass, getting the ball and missing the shot. On the offensive, Kira, one of the green team strikers, receives the ball, scoring the goal to put his team to nationals. The coach gives a motivational speech to Isagi and his team about playing hard, with everyone crying, including the coach and players. On his way back to his parents' house, he apologizes to Noel Noah, a superstar striker, for not being able to become a superstar striker like him and win the World Cup, recalling that maybe if he took the shot instead of his teammate, that maybe, just maybe, the outcome would be different. Isagi starts crying in tears, breaking down over the loss and not going to nationals. The next day, Isagi heads to the Japan Union Soccer Building, where Kira introduces himself formally to Isagi, gassing him up on his high IQ in soccer. They both head inside together and notice the crowd of kids. Isagi realizes that everyone has been invited is a forward for the respective team. A man appears in front of the stage and goes by the name Ego. He announces to them that they will be living in Blue Lock and won't be able to return home until the process is complete. Ego flames the Japanese World Cup team for not being able to achieve a trophy yet, giving them examples of famous players with what they have said, showing how big their egos are. Telling the crowd that they can't even think of becoming the world's best striker, unless having the biggest ego possible, wanting to create a person to score the winning goal regardless of the situation. Isagi runs to the door, following his heart with everyone else following suit. Isagi arrives at the Blue Lock facility and enters a room being greeted by Kira. After he changes into his uniform, he's greeted by Igarashi, another forward competing in Blue Lock, being ranked 300. Ego appears on the screen above, informing them that the top 5 players will represent the Japanese U20 World Cup team as forwards. Ego launches a soccer ball from the ceiling, telling them that the first game they will be playing is tag, then ending the broadcast. Igarashi is it first, being the lowest rank, and is about to kick the ball at one of the players sleeping, then gets knee to the face by the player. A guy who doesn't accept the dirty play gets hit in the face by Igarashi. Kunigami, the buff orange-haired guy, launches a striking blow at Isagi on accident, temporarily putting him onto the ground. Isagi tries going for Igarashi, who has the lowest rank and has the best odds of tagging him. The clock counts down, with Isagi panicking, not being able to tag anyone. The guy sleeping gets thrown on top of Igarashi, and when pushing him off, is unable to stand. Isagi glares at him, but instead of kicking the ball at him, he wants to go for the strongest person in the room, aiming at the guy sleeping instead. The guy, being Bachira, grabs the ball instantly from Isagi and aims to destroy Kira. Bachira tries kicking Kira but misses, then sends a volley straight to Isagi with his monsters inside of him, slamming the ball into Kira's face. The Japanese World Cup team loses in groups and is shunned by the whole public. Henri, one of the executive members of the Japan Football Union, believes that the team has a chance of winning the World Cup in the board meeting. Back at Blue Lock, Kira is bleeding from his nose on the ground, stunned about what just happened. Ego tells Kira that he's disqualified from the event and to leave Blue Lock. Kira freaks out, then Ego explains to him that in Blue Lock, everything that they do revolves around soccer. For an example, the room being the same size as the penalty box. Kira makes a claim that Ego wouldn't know anything about him in the 2 minutes of tag that they just played. Ego makes another example, being the last play right before the whistle, having his back turned away from the ball, not having complete focus and giving up. Ego finally tells him to lock off, in the process with Kira losing his sanity, exiting the room. Isagi goes over to Bachira, demanding to know why he passed the ball. Bachira tells him that he believed he would kick the ball at Kira and won on the gamble. Ego motivates them in general that everything in the world is a win-or-lose scenario, being that the world-class strikers put their lives on the line every day to be in the position that they are at. Lastly, telling the group that every time they get satisfaction from winning, their own ego develops. In the training room, Raichi is on the treadmill trash-talking Isagi on his conditioning, then doing jump training with Kuon, being surprised by his athletic ability. At lunch, Isagi grabs his main course and gets his side dish based on the current rank he's at. While everyone is sleeping, Isagi can't sleep, recalling how everyone he's interacted with is stronger than him. Isagi then heads to the pitch to get extra training, agreeing to play Bachira. Bachira tells him a story during his match where a monster inside of him was telling him not to pass the ball, giving him a hand after losing the soccer ball to the other team. During the practice, Bachira asks Isagi if he's ever heard monsters inside of him. Isagi, being curious, being hopeful that being in Blue Lock can find his inner monster. Bachira is glad meeting Isagi and they continue the training, getting excited about the look Isagi is giving. Isagi returns to the room with Bachira, having all of their ranks updated. Igo returns to the screen announcing to them that the Blue Lock structure consists of 25 teams from B to Z being split into 5 groups with 1 per building, being that the only way to be a soccer king is climbing through the ranks to achieve better living conditions. Finally announcing to Team Z what the first selection will be. An interview is taking place with Hitoshi Sai, one of the new generation of heroes. He gets upset on the reporter's question about representing a weak nation like Japan, leaving the interview. His advisor in the hallway relays to him that the media is going to dislike him for the comments that were said. Then they stop at the door of the JFU press conference. Henri bursts out in front of the Japanese reporters, suggesting that they need Blue Lock to better improve Japanese soccer. Igo lectures to Team Z that the first selection consists of a 5-team round robin, with only the top 2 teams or being the person with the most goals on the losing team moving on to the second selection. Igo states that they will be playing soccer from how it was originally intended, taking examples from prolific players, being hopeful that one player will change the entire world. Before Team Z's first match, Isagi announces to the group that he will be playing the forward position for the match. 5 minutes before the first match, Team Z is in their locker room with Kuon showing their formation going against Team X. Team Z makes their way through the tunnel onto the field with both teams staring each other down. A person announces to them that the match will be 45 minutes long with the game starting, then Bachira passes the ball to Isagi. Raichi yoinks the ball from Isagi and recalls that the top scorer will go through to the second selection regardless. Kunigami steals the ball under him and agrees with his ethics. Team X steals the ball while they are fighting and then it becomes complete chaos on the pitch. A guy from Team X steals the ball from the pack, being Baro, heel flicking the ball over Isagi. Baro then nutmegs 2 people at once, scoring the first goal in style. Team Z gets into another argument, then at kickoff, Igarashi then steals the pass, leading to the ball getting stolen from him, with one of the Team X members suggesting that they work together to win the game, passing the ball to Baro. They try to surround Baro with multiple bodies, then he passes the ball, leading to another goal. 2 goals turns into 3, then 4, leading to 5 for Team X. Bachira comes to realize that they can't win the match with only 2 minutes left, suggesting to Isagi that he can score while their guard is down. Bachira passes the ball past 3 defenders to Isagi, but standing in his way is Baro. Isagi panics, not knowing what to do, passing the ball to Kunigami, after with his power launching the ball, scoring the 1 goal. Raichi gets angry at Isagi for not passing the ball to him, making him rethink his reasons for being at Blue Lock. The game ends with Team X winning the match 5-1, with Isagi being disappointed in the results, sitting alone on the pitch. In the locker room, Isagi recalls Baro saying to him that if he gets nervous around the goal that he isn't fit to be a striker. Kuon tells Team Z to stop bickering, making them understand that they still have a chance for that to not lose the next game at all costs, otherwise it will probably be done for. Bachira walks in saying that their goal was the best in the game. One of the Team Z members, being Chigiri, the pink-haired striker, he relays to the group that Igo is saying to create soccer from zero was a hint in the first part of the selection. Isagi explains what that means. When Baro scored the first goal, it created a path for them to work together as a team to score more goals, with their egos having to clash to bring out everyone's full potential. Igo appears on the screen reporting to them that in their building, Team V beat Team Y 8-0. Then gives them a lecture in soccer having no exact rules and will have to base each play on how they feel. Finally, in soccer, scoring a goal means destroying the other team's morale. To take their certain weapon and use it to their fullest abilities, with such victory exists going beyond your limits. Team Z in their room goes one by one explaining all of their weapons so that they can get a better feel on how to play together. Kuon asks Isagi what his weapon is but can't think of it. Then proceeds to ask Chigiri what his weapon is but denies the question. After they all give their abilities to Kuon, he shows them the strategy from his notepad to win the next match. On the pitch, Team Z is practicing trying to get ready for the next match. Knowing the stakes if they lose another game that their soccer career will probably be over, making their team come together more as one. Isagi takes a seat having a late meal with Kunigami congratulating him on his practice. He thanks Isagi for the pass and says goodnight, but before he leaves, Isagi wants to know why he plays soccer. Kunigami in a straight face says he's always wanted to be a soccer superhero, idolizing strikers ever since he was a kid. To achieve his dream, he will take the path the right way and become the best. Kunigami gives Isagi a steak with the bonus points he got from scoring the goal in the last match. Instead, they have a chat with Isagi telling him that he smelled a goal, assuming that it was his special weapon. Then they bond together while having their delicious meal. Kuon tells Team Z that Team Y lost in their first match as well and that their best player is Okawa. The group huddles before the match to get hyped to win, recalling Kuon's plan to divide playing time to take turns as the forward, with the exceptions of Limon and Chigiri not wanting to be in the rotation, happy with their positions. The second match starts with Batra using his dribbling weapon first. He passes the ball to Kunigami, shooting the ball but getting blocked. Isagi notices that they aren't attacking and wonders what they are waiting for. A guy from Team Y with long hair gets the ball, then immediately Okawa starts running up the pitch. Okawa gets the ball being one-on-one against Limon, scoring the goal easily. Kuon encourages everyone not to give up, being only down 1 goal, then it's his turn to use his jumping abilities being a forward. The other team steals the ball and starts passing it among each other to run down the clock for their victory. At halftime in the Team Z locker room, Raichi gets furious with everyone on the team for not retrieving the ball back to him for his 10 minutes being a forward, getting 0 chances to score. Limon suggests that everyone should be more aggressive in the second half. Kuon tells them that it's way too risky to change plans mid-game, with Isagi questioning their chances of winning the match. It's Imura's turn to be the front line of the Team Z lineup, recalling the current situation being when a girl is out of your league, referring to Team Y, then missing the ball completely. It's Gagamaru's time, with Isagi sending him across using his head to almost score a goal. Isagi notices something behind him and gets confused on what he just felt. Batra lines up the ball for the corner kick, launching the ball with the goalie knocking it away from the box. Isagi predicts where the ball is going to, stealing it from one of the Team Y players. He tries shooting it but gets blocked by the same player. Gagamaru takes advantage of the moment by kicking the ball into the goal, scoring. Gagamaru tells them that the comeback win is on, with the player Nico complimenting Isagi on figuring out their plan, also stating that he has the same eyes but will still win the match by the end of it. If you guys like what you saw, be sure to subscribe, like the video, and we'll see you in the next video. Hope you guys have a great day. Peace.